The Separatist Alliance, also known as the Confederacy of Independent Systems, was an organization who basically believed that the Galactic Republic was a corrupt system and didn't want to be part of it. Mostly consisting of senators once serving the Galactic Republic, the separatist organization, led by Count Dooku, grouped together to fight the Republic and to sort of return their own sense of justice to the world. And here in this video, I'm gonna talk about every single member, but this is a long video, so there will be a part 2 and maybe a part 3. So here we start with every member of the Separatist Alliance. Starting with one of the primary members of the organization, Nute Gunray was the viceroy of the Trade Federation. He was a Neimoidian from the planet of Neimoidia, not to be mistaken with Cato Neimoidia, a similarly named planet. After he was arrested for invading the planet of Naboo, Nute Gunray stood trial. However, due to the corruption in the courts and sort of money and stuff, he, however, sort of was bought out of the courts and remained the viceroy of the Trade Federation, allying himself with Count Dooku and becoming the separatist leader. Unfortunately for him, Nute Gunray did not live long, as after he and the other separatists were sent to the planet of Mustafar, Anakin Skywalker, who was now Darth Vader, Darth Sidious's evil apprentice, came and slaughtered everyone, leaving Nute Gunray to be the last one to get killed. And as Nute begged for mercy, Anakin didn't listen to any words that he said and simply slaughtered him for the sake of his wife. Going over to Nute Gunray's assistant, we have Rune Hakkaku. Rune Hakkaku you may recognize more not by this picture on the screen, but by his costume in the first episode. Maybe most of you recognized him more in that costume. So, Rune Hakkaku was another Neimoidian from Neimoidia and was basically the assistant of Nute Gunray. He served him when Nute Gunray was basically, in episode 1, the leader of the Trade Federation, basically helping him with the invasion and everything else, and continued serving him after the Clone Wars and during the Clone Wars and around the time of episode 2 and episode 3, being another one of the separatist sort of leaders' aides. And yeah, there's not much information on him, however, it is known that Rune Hakkaku was basically slaughtered by Anakin, trying to stop Anakin like, wait a minute, but Anakin didn't listen and killed him. Unfortunately. Another assistant of Nute's, Guillermos Lipka, had a very interesting and intriguing and complicated backstory. Although it is implied that he was as well born on Neimoidia, most of his life he lived on Tatooine, for he was exiled for unknown reasons. And basically, he still served the Trade Federation. During the events of Attack of the Clones, Guillermos Lipka assisted Nute Gunray when Nute Gunray was to sign the treaty to join the Separatist Alliance, sort of joining the Trade Federation into the organization. Now a little behind-the-scenes fact for you. So, originally, Guillermos Lipka was not supposed to be a new character, but rather the second episode representation of Rune Hakkaku. However, Rune's mask was lost somewhere throughout production, so the character was changed to Guillermos Lipka. However, although this is the confirmed name from, I think, the novel or somewhere, this is the official name, in the credits, the character was not listed as Rune Hakkaku or Guillermos Lipka, but as Lott Dod, the senator of the Trade Federation, who I'm gonna be talking about next. Another Neimoidian member of the Separatist Alliance was Senator Lott Dod. Now, although Lott Dod tried to persuade the Senate that he was neutral and did not follow Nute Gunray's evil footsteps and join the Separatist Alliance, he was actually kind of working for Gunray, reporting, helping him to sort of for the battles and everything. And although basically Lott Dod was for the Separatist Alliance, and nearly everyone understood that he wasn't neutral, he was kind of for the enemy, they still couldn't prove it, so he continued to be a part of the Galactic Senate. Sandhill was the chairman of the Intergalactic Banking Clan, basically a banking organization in the Galactic Republic. He was a moon from the planet of Scipio, who joined the Separatist Alliance and basically said, "The banking clan will sign your treaty." And it is unclear what happened to Sandhill's position in the banking clan after he decided to basically join with Count Dooku, as he wasn't seen during the Clone Wars in the banking clan, so I guess maybe the Moons just didn't want him to represent them anymore after he made it clear that he wanted to join Dooku's forces. So I guess they just maybe exiled him, or maybe they just didn't want him as part of their organization anymore, because they really wanted to sort of stay neutral and at least pretend to stay neutral. However, Sandhill joining the Separatists openly, maybe it would trigger them to sort of remove him from his position. In the Revenge of the Sith novelization, there's a small segment dedicated to Sandhill's death. So basically, after the scene where Anakin entered the room and basically before he killed all the Separatists, when he entered the room, Sandhill basically ran towards him and he was like, "Lord Vader, like, we are very happy that you arrived," stuff like that. And then Anakin just straight up cut him just in pieces as he just ran. And Sandhill saw that he was Anakin Skywalker, and he's like, you're Anakin Skywalker. And Anakin was like, "No." And that's when he cut Sandhill. So, although we didn't see his death in the movie, we definitely had an explanation of his death in the novelization, and it is stated that the Separatists stared at his, dead body for, 5 seconds or something, just shocked, and then Anakin began slaughtering them. So, he was the first one to be killed from the very beginning. You can also see his death in the comic, I think, yeah. So, here is how he died. Some people mistake Sandhill with another moon of the banking clan, representing the banking clan in the Galactic Senate, Nix Cart. Well, Nix Cart was basically the senator representing the banking clan in the Galactic Republic during the Clone Wars. However, he mostly sort of was on the Separatist side, constantly working with Dooku and Grievous and others, and trying to do everything for his personal agenda. He kind of was trying to tie the Separatists and the Republic and make everything just go as Count Dooku wanted, to make sure that the war goes on as it brought him profit and kind of to his side. He also worked along with Darth Sidious on one occasion, where he manipulated, along with Darth Sidious, the banking clan into sort of, it's kind of complicated story, but it all ended up with Darth Sidious, basically the Palpatine, becoming the new leader of the banking clan and sort of having all the money with him. So, yeah, many people mistake this guy with Sandhill. However, this one is Nix Cart, so he is the one. Now, the next Separatist leader on the list is a female Gossam from the planet of Castel called Shumai. Now, what I'm mad on George Lucas for is basically I'm really mad that George Lucas called her Shumai. Well, I'm joking, but because whenever I write Shumai, I get those dumplings in the internet. So I have to rewrite it Shumai Star Wars, and that's where the internet gets it. And because like whenever I just write Shumai, it's just those dumplings, and I'm like really mad that I have to give more information. Well, anyway, Shumai was the leader of the Commerce Guild and was basically a female Gossam who controlled the Commerce Guild. I said one thing twice, but and she was very hesitant in joining the Separatist alliance, for despite her agreeing with everything Dooku thought and said, believing that the Republic was a corrupt organization, she thought that betraying the Republic would be treason, and she would be sort of accounted for it, and the punishment would be severe. Shumai was killed by Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar. Cat Min was the assistant of Shumai, another Gossam from Castell. So Cat Min was basically assisting Shumai in making the decisions, just basically Shumai's sort of partner, sort of business partner, how do you say it? And I didn't really get much information on her, except from the simple fact that she was basically Shumai's advisor, leading her through different decisions for the company, and perhaps maybe even influenced her joining the Separatists. Wat Tambor was a Skakoan from Skako, and he was the leader of the organization named the Techno Union. The Techno Union was responsible for basically creating technological weapons and droids and stuff, and Wat Tambor, when he joined the Separatists, believed that his droids, allied with Count Dooku's forces and the forces of the other Separatist leaders, would make the finest droid army in the galaxy that could not stand against the Republic. So basically, Wat Tambor was a very kind of selfish and evil guy, and as we see in the Clone Wars 2008 TV show, he kind of was ruthless but a bit stupid at the same time. He took over the planet Ryloth and basically ruled over the Twi'leks, the natives of the planet, in sort of cold blood and in very violent manners. However, he was also very obsessed with taking all the planet's treasure for himself, that he was kind of allowed himself to be captured. It is unknown how he got free before episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, because we see that he is free back then and the Clone Wars takes place between episode 2 and 3. However, I would estimate he escaped from the prison that he was held in. And after that, although we didn't see his death in Revenge of the Sith when the Separatists were slaughtered, we definitely saw that he was one of the last ones to be slaughtered, hiding behind the table thinking that it will protect him, however eventually being cut down, as we see in this cinematic recreation of the picture. Pascal Argente was a Kurivar from the planet of Kuriva, and he was the magistrate of the company called the Corporate Alliance. From the very beginning of the Phantom Menace, he was the one who always voted against Chancellor Valorum, and was of course one of when Queen Amidala gave the vote of no confidence to Chancellor Valorum, he of course supported it, as he believed Finis Valorum was corrupt. He thought that Palpatine might be better. However, he thought, even after Palpatine, he believed that the Republic was corrupt, and therefore wanted to support Count Dooku instead and join the Separatist alliance to make a difference. Pascal Argente unfortunately did die at the hands of Anakin on Mustafar. Part 2 is coming up. Part 2!